The movie opens with a harrowing flashback of the protagonist, Caroline, and her daughter, Vanya. Caught in a traffic jam, the tension in the air is palpable as they listen to a distressing news report about the civil war wreaking havoc in their country. This sense of foreboding escalates rapidly when two armed men emerge, attacking the innocent civilians trapped in the traffic. In the midst of this chaos, Vanya is forcefully taken from Caroline, an event that profoundly impacts her life. Years later, the narrative finds Caroline transformed into a soldier, a stark contrast to her previous life. She arrives at a train station, expecting to be taken to a military base. Instead, a lieutenant meets her and leads her to a refugee camp. This unexpected detour leaves Caroline vulnerable. As soon as the lieutenant leaves, the situation escalates as desperate refugees attack her. Displaying quick reflexes and survival skills, Caroline takes cover under a truck, defending herself against the onslaught. After a tense escape, Caroline drives a truck to the military base. There, she meets three members of the F-28 unit, Mike, Karimi, and the sharpshooter Granvik. Shortly after, Captain Forsberg arrives and escorts them to a briefing with Colonel Rad. The colonel lays out the dire situation. The Stockholm archipelago is encased in ice, rendering traditional vehicle transport useless. He reveals their mission, dubbed Black Crab, which involves ice skating across the icy terrain to deliver two crucial capsules to the research facility Odo, a task critical to ending the Civil War. Colonel Rad's briefing sets the stage for a perilous journey across a frozen wasteland, highlighting the extreme measures necessary to navigate the challenges posed by the Civil War. However, Caroline expresses her apprehensions about the mission dubbed Black Crab, voicing that the task of crossing the icy expanse seems insurmountably dangerous. Colonel Rod, displeased with her skepticism, dismisses everyone from the room, leaving Caroline alone with him. In this private moment, he reveals a crucial piece of information, a photograph of her daughter Vanya, who was found in a refugee camp. This revelation ignites a glimmer of hope in Caroline. Rod assures her that they will assist in locating Vanya, but only if Caroline commits to the mission. The prospect of being reunited with her daughter leads Caroline to relent her initial resistance and agree to embark on the dangerous journey. As the team prepares for the mission, Captain Forsberg arrives with essential supplies and informs them of their early morning departure. However, their plans are abruptly interrupted when the military base is attacked in a nocturnal assault. Amidst the chaos and a hail of bullets, the team manages to escape unharmed. They regroup with Colonel Rod and Lieutenant Nyland, who entrusts them with the capsules critical to the mission's success. These capsules must reach the research base without falling into enemy hands. Captain Forsberg takes the lead on the mission, and the team sets out, skating through the treacherous frozen landscape under the cover of night. As dawn breaks and they pause for a moment of rest, the ice unexpectedly gives way, causing Forsberg to fall into the icy waders. Carolina, acting quickly and with determination, dives in after him to retrieve the capsules from his pockets. Despite their efforts to save him, Forsberg tragically dies to the frigid depths. Faced with the harsh reality of their situation, the team is forced to continue their journey, leaving Forsberg's body behind in order to prioritize the success of the mission. The challenges of the mission take a toll on Caroline, who begins to feel unwell after her plunge into the cold waters. In a stroke of luck, the team stumbles upon an empty house. They take refuge inside, swiftly starting a fire to provide warmth and aid Caroline's recovery. As the team gathers around the fire for warmth and rest, tensions begin to rise. Lieutenant Nyland confronts Caroline, accusing her of prioritizing the mission's capsules over the life of Captain Forsberg. Caroline defends her actions, explaining that while she did attempt to save Forsberg, her efforts were ultimately unsuccessful. The mission's success is paramount in her eyes, a sentiment that drives her every decision. The argument heats up, and Caroline becomes increasingly suspicious of Nyland. She finds it odd that he was not the original choice for the mission, as the soldier initially selected for the task vanished under mysterious circumstances. Adding to her mistrust is Nyland's apparent lack of concern for the capsules. Before the disagreement can escalate further, Malik steps in, diffusing the situation. In the absence of Forsberg, the group reluctantly agrees to follow Nyland's lead and takes some time to rest. Caroline's rest is short-lived, as she is startled awake by strange noises. Rushing outside, she discovers Karimi on the radio, speaking to someone unknown. Her attention is quickly diverted by the imminent threat of an enemy helicopter approaching their hideout. Without hesitation, Caroline alerts the others and they flee the house just in time to avoid a bomb dropped by the helicopter. After the danger has passed, Caroline confronts confronts Karimi, suspecting him of communicating with the enemy. Karimi insists that he was only trying to contact his girlfriend, a task impossible within their military unit due to restricted radio access. He explains that he was desperate to know if she was still alive. Despite his explanation, the team is skeptical of Karimi's intentions. Choosing caution over immediate punishment, they decide to disarm him but keep him with them as they continue their mission. The group resumes their journey, skating across the icy terrain, each member wrestling with their doubts and suspicions. As darkness envelops the landscape, the team reaches a chilling section of the ice, where they are confronted with a macabre scene. Numerous lifeless bodies are visible beneath the frozen surface. The harrowing sight deeply disturbs them, but they have little time to process this grim reality. Suddenly, a helicopter appears, spotting the group and launching an attack. In a frantic response, they disperse, each moving with incredible speed and agility to dodge the shower of bullets. Their quick actions allow them to find shelter in spots hidden from the helicopter's view. Once the danger has passed and the helicopter flies away, they decide to continue their journey on foot. After some time, the group arrives at the home of an elderly couple. Welcomed with unexpected hospitality, they are allowed to stay and are even provided with a meal. As they gather around the dining table, a tense moment unfolds when Caroline accidentally drops her spoon. Bending down to pick it up, she makes a shocking discovery. The old man has concealed a firearm beneath the table. Before she can warn her companions, the elderly man opens fire. The soldiers immediately take defensive action. Malik and Nylund return fire, but the confrontation tragically results in the deaths of the elderly couple. During the chaos, Karimi is fatally hit by a stray bullet. Compounding their grief, they receive a radio call on Karimi's device from his girlfriend, confirming his innocence and dispelling their earlier doubts about his loyalty. After mourning Karimi's death, the team resumes their journey across the ice. However, they are soon forced to stop as Malik, who was injured in the earlier shootout, struggles with his wound. Nylund offers him morphine to ease the pain, but Malik declines, suggesting they might need the medicine more urgently later. The team's path leads them to an abandoned ship resting on the icy terrain. They decide to explore the ship, hoping to find useful resources. Inside, tensions rise when Garnvik, driven by frustration, opens one of the mission's capsules. To everyone's shock, the label inside reveals that the capsule contains a highly contagious virus. Malik, despite his injury, quickly intervenes and takes the capsule from Garnvik, explaining the catastrophic consequences if the virus were to be released. It could end not just the war, but all life as they know it. Carolina ascends to the deck of the ship. She scans the horizon with binoculars and spots a distant light, a potential sign of enemy presence. Her observation is abruptly interrupted by the sound of a gunshot from inside the ship. Rushing back, she makes a grim discovery. Malik, overwhelmed by his deteriorating condition, has taken his own life. Caroline shares her sighting of the distant light with the rest of the group, suspecting it could be enemy soldiers who might have heard the gunshot. Without waiting for the others to react, she decides to leave the ship and continue the mission alone. As she skates across the ice, she notices the terrain becoming increasingly treacherous, with the once thick ice now giving way to a thinner, more fragile layer. Despite the risk, Caroline presses on but eventually falls through the ice into the cold water. In a desperate situation, Granvik and Nylund manage to rescue her using a rope. They decide to remain tethered together for safety as they navigate the dangerous ice. Suddenly, an unknown assailant attacks them. Granvik, drawing on his sniper skills, quickly neutralizes the threat. They make their way to a nearby military camp, only to find it abandoned, with the frozen corpses of soldiers scattered around. Realizing they are the only survivors at the base, they decide to spend the night there. In a quiet moment, Granvik shares a haunting story from his past, revealing how he narrowly escaped death and the horrors he witnessed during his capture by the enemy. This experience fueled his decision to join the military, driven by a desire for vengeance. The next morning, Caroline wakes from a nightmare about her daughter Vanya's death, only to find that Nylund has disappeared with the capsules. While pursuing him, Caroline and Granvik are ambushed by enemy soldiers. In the ensuing firefight, Granvik is killed and Caroline is injured but manages to eliminate the attackers. Continuing alone, Caroline eventually catches up with Nylund. He reveals his intention to destroy the capsules, abandoning the mission. Left with no choice, Caroline shoots him and takes back the capsules. Leaving Nylund injured on the ice, she resumes her journey. However, her physical and mental exhaustion take a toll, leading to hallucinations of Malik and Forsberg. Caroline collapses on the ice, and as she lies there, a group of soldiers on horseback approaches, leaving her fate uncertain. When Caroline next awakens, she is in an infirmary, grappling with the harsh physical toll of her journey. She's been afflicted with frostbite, a painful reminder of the extreme conditions she endured. To her surprise, she learns that she has successfully reached the base with the capsules, thereby fulfilling the mission she was tasked with. Her remarkable achievement is recognized by the soldiers soldiers at the base, who honor her with medals and a promotion to the rank of second lieutenant, a prestigious award presented by the base commander, Nord. Among those recovering at the base is Nyland, who also survived the ordeal. Caroline's relief at having completed her mission turns to shock and betrayal as she inquires about her daughter, Vanya. She faces the devastating truth that she was deceived and manipulated into carrying out the mission under false pretenses. However, Nyland steps in, offering her comfort as she breaks down in tears. In the aftermath of this revelation, Caroline resolves to prevent the deadly virus from spreading. She convinces Nyland to join her in a final, decisive act to destroy the capsules. Together, they make their way to the laboratory where the virus is stored. By setting off the evacuation alarm and wearing hazmat suits, they manage to obtain the capsules from a scientist amid the chaos of the fleeing crowds. Caroline's injury slows her down, forcing Nyland to leave her behind as he secures seats on the departing helicopters. Left alone, she is confronted by Nord, who arrives with a group of soldiers. In a bold and final act of defiance, Caroline reveals that she has attached the capsules to an unpinned grenade. Nord tries to dissuade her by invoking the memory of Vanya, but Caroline remains steadfast in her decision, expressing that her daughter is all she ever thinks about. With unwavering determination, Caroline steps off the cliff, detonating the grenade mid-air. Her lifeless body descends into the sea, symbolizing her ultimate sacrifice. In her final moments, she imagines reuniting with Vanya, embracing her in an emotional and surreal conclusion to her journey. The movie ends on this powerful note, capturing the profound sacrifices made in war and the devastating impact of deception and manipulation in times of conflict. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.